Welcome to the deep dive. You've brought us a stack of sources all focused on one incredible thing, dorayaki.
That's right.
You might think you know this sweet treat, but trust us, there's a surprising amount packed inside those two soft pancakes.
Yeah, definitely. We've got articles, notes, research that goes beyond just, describing the taste. We're looking at its history, its cultural weight,
Hmm.
and the sheer ingenuity behind it, really.
Exactly. Our mission in this deep dive is to really uncover what makes dorayaki special. We're going to explore its origins, why it's seen as a symbol of good fortune, its unexpectedly emotional connection to a certain beloved character,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
and the craftsmanship that goes into making it. By the end, you'll be quickly informed about the layers of meaning in this seemingly simple sweet.
So let's start with the fundamentals, the ingredients. At its heart, dorayaki is two flour-based crusts hugging a sweet red bean paste called anko.
Right. On the surface, it looks straightforward, like a simple pancake sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
But the sources immediately point out that this apparent simplicity is...
Well, it's deceptive.
It really is. There's immense variety, even just in the crusts. Some are thick and fluffy, others thinner.
And it often represents a bit of a taste journey for people. I saw that in the notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The notes mention a common path where someone might prefer, like, Western sweets as a child,
Right.
but grow to appreciate the more subtle sweetness and textures of Japanese wagashi like dorayaki later in life.
That rings true.
Yeah,
There's a depth of flavor there you appreciate differently over time.
definitely.
So where did this iconic round sandwich even come from? What's the origin story?
Well, the name itself is the first clue. The most popular theory for dorayaki links back to a gong.
A gong, seriously. Like the musical instrument you hit.
Precisely. Dora means gong in Japanese. So the theory is it was either named for its round shape resembling a gong,
Okay.
or perhaps, and this is more dramatic, that it was first cooked on a heated gong. Cooking a sweet on a gong. Wow, that paints quite a picture. So the name tells us about the shape. How did the shape evolve?
Well, the modern form we recognize today with those thicker round crusts, it really solidified during the Meiji period. So roughly 1868 to 1912.
And that was a time of significant change in Japan.
Right.
A lot going on then.
It really was. Before that, in the Edo period, there was a predecessor called sukesoyaki.
Tsukasa,
Yeah. That version used a much thinner, sort of crepe-like dough. And intriguingly, it wrapped a square filling, not a round one sandwiched between layers.
So it wasn't always the sandwich.
Yeah.
Who do we credit with this modern round evolution then?
The source points to Seibi Moridi of Baikate in Tokyo.
Like a te.
He's credited with creating the modern style using a thicker, almost castello-like batter for the crust and pairing it with the sweet anko back in the early Meiji era.
Fascinating how a food can have such a clear point of evolution. And the sources highlight a regional difference too. Something about Kansai.
Yes, exactly. Particularly in the Kansai region, places like Osaka, Kyoto, Nara. There, it's often known by names like mikasa, mikasayaki, or mikasamanju.
Mikasa.
This name is said to come from the resemblance of the dorayaki shape to Mount Mikasa near Nara.
Mikasa. Linking the food to a mountain's form.
Right.
It really shows how embedded these sweets are in local culture, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Speaking of culture, the sources make a strong case that dorayaki is far more than just a simple sweet. It carries significant cultural weight and is often considered auspicious. Why is that?
Yeah, this is where the shape becomes truly symbolic. The image of the two round crusts coming together. To embrace the single filling inside, it's seen as representing the union of a couple.
Oh, okay.
And that union then embracing family, children, parents, the whole circle.
So the physical form symbolizes connection, bringing things together. That's lovely.
Exactly. It evokes warmth, togetherness, love,
Yeah.
which makes it a very popular choice for celebrations like weddings, baby showers, or even just family gatherings.
Oh.
And the round shape itself is a traditional symbol of perfection, harmony, a happy family circle.
The source uses the beautiful phrase linking this to a delicate Japanese sensibility and how the shape symbolizes wrapping up a relationship. That gives it such a tender meaning.
It really does. What's
Yeah.
powerful is how something you hold and eat can embody such a profound human concept. The idea of bringing people and relationships together securely, like the two layers holding the filling.
Yeah.
It's enjoyed daily, but it also holds this deep meaning for life's big moments and even sometimes for mourning events, too.
Absolutely. Now let's pivot to something that truly surprised me in the source material, the unexpected health aspects, particularly from the azuki beans.
Yes.
When you think of a sweet, healthy, isn't usually the first word that comes to mind, right?
Right.
But these beans are different.
They really are nutritional powerhouses in a surprising way.
Yeah.
The sources point out that azuki beans are incredibly rich in polyphenols.
Polyphenols, okay. Those are the good plant compounds.
Exactly. They contain nearly twice the amount found in red wine.
Twice the polyphenols of red wine. Wow. That's a significant amount.
It is, and they're also packed with dietary fiber, something like 3 times the amount found in burdock root, which is another vegetable known for its fiber.
Okay.
So these nutrients are believed to support metabolism and aid digestion, bowel movements, that kind of thing.
So not only are they delicious, but they're giving you a real nutritional boost, especially of fiber.
And the source specifically highlights tubulin.
That's the chunky bean paste.
Yeah, the one with visible bean skins. Eating that allows you to get the full nutritional value from the beans. So it's not just a sweet treat, it's also seen as offering like a blessing of good health.
Ah, linking back to that auspicious nature again.
Exactly. Health and good fortune tied together.
Okay, let's unpack this. And speaking of how dorayaki touches people's lives in unexpected ways, sometimes even fictional ones, here's where it gets really interesting. Its connection to Doraemon.
Ah, yes. The blue robot cat.
Yeah. Everyone knows he loves dorayaki, but the source reveals the story behind that love. And honestly, it's quite touching.
It truly adds an emotional layer to his famous craving, doesn't it? According to the original story, Doraemon's intense affection for Dorayaki began with a memory of his first love.
His first love, a robot love story. Tell me more.
Indeed. It was a robot cat named Nora Miyako. Apparently, back when Doraemon was in robot school and feeling particularly sad, maybe bullied or just down,
Oh.
Nora Miyako gave him a dorayaki. She described it as a 20th century candy to cheer him up.
A sweet gesture in a moment of sadness. Very kind.
Exactly. And when he tasted it, he found it incredibly delicious. So that experience, the comfort, the kindness, the taste of this 20th century candy given to him by his first love when he was feeling low, that became the foundational memory.
Ah.
That taste of first love is the origin of his deep and enduring love for dorayaki.
That is genuinely unexpected. And it gives his obsession so much more meaning. It's not just a favorite food. It's tied to a core memory of kindness and affection.
Wow. It elevates it from a simple craving to something linked to precious personal history, even for a fictional character. It's quite profound, really.
Yeah.
Now, the source does mention other possibilities, like maybe the unko is an energy source for him, or just that the author, Fujiko F. Fujio, simply liked dorayaki himself.
But the love story origin is definitely the most compelling narrative. I had absolutely no idea.
It's a great example of how even a seemingly simple food can be woven into surprising cultural narratives, isn't it?
Totally. So moving from pop culture back to the culinary aspects, the source identifies 3 main attractions of dorayaki that explain its enduring appeal. What are they?
Okay, first off, it's all about the exquisite texture. The crust is described as having this wonderful balance. It's fluffy yet chewy and moist, very much like a castella cake, often made with honey.
Castella.
And the combination of that texture and the mild sweetness of the anko is said to create this pleasant feeling of happiness when you eat it.
A texture that brings happiness. I like that. Yeah. And the source points out those little bubbles on the surface of the crust. Are those important?
Yes, those aren't random. They're apparently a sign of high-temperature baking, a mark of the craftsmanship required to get that specific, soft, airy, yet chewy texture without scorching it.
Ah, okay.
And this unique feel is often something that particularly appeals to foreign visitors, the sources say.
Okay, so texture is key. What's the second major attraction?
The second is the various variations. It bridges both traditional Japanese flavors and Western influences. So while classic anko is the standard, the market has really evolved. We see lots of popular twists now, like anko combined with fresh cream, or fillings like chocolate, or even strawberry cream.
That makes sense. It broadens the appeal, maybe makes it easier for younger palates or those less accustomed to traditional anto. Kid-friendly, perhaps.
Absolutely. And it's not just simple variations. The sources mention that even, like, French pâtissiers are creating ingenious gourmet versions.
And really, French chefs.
Yeah. Plus, that health angle we talked about, the azuki beans' polyphenols and fiber, makes them increasingly attractive to health-conscious consumers globally, especially in the West.
So it's a food that's not static.
Yeah.
It's constantly being reinterpreted.
Yeah.
Cool. And the third attraction?
The third is its beautiful appearance and cultural significance. We've touched on the gong shape and its visual appeal already,
Hmm.
but the crust itself has this subtle, inviting, sweet aroma and a gentle flavor that complements the filling perfectly. And those regional names we mentioned, like Mikasa, add layers of cultural identity and attraction.
The source talks about experiencing the aroma first as part of the overall enjoyment, taking a moment before diving in.
Yes, it's meant to be a multi-sensory experience. And when you see variations that incorporate things like fresh cream or, say, sweetened chestnuts alongside the unko,
Co-chestnuts sound good.
it creates this gorgeous visual and flavor blend that strongly evokes the richness of Japanese food culture. It reflects that nuanced Japanese sense of beauty and delicacy we discussed earlier.
So it's a complete package, visual, aromatic, textural, and full of historical and cultural weight. Okay. To really understand the craftsmanship and variety, the sources highlight specific famous stores, each known for something distinct. Let's hear about those.
Right, these examples really show the different philosophies behind making the perfect dorayaki. First, let's talk about Kameju in Tokyo.
Kaimiju. This is the legendary place in Asakusa, right?
Yeah.
Often listed among Tokyo's top 3. People apparently line up before they even open.
That dedication from customers tells you something. Kameju's signature is its unique crust. It's known for being exceptionally soft, chewy, and moist. It's quite special.
Okay.
They use high-quality azuki from Hokkaido Tokachi for a gently sweet filling that really complements that amazing crust. The dorayaki themselves are quite large, but the source notes are surprisingly easy to eat.
Big but light.
Kind of, yeah. They offer classic black bean and white bean paste, usually around 370, 390 yen.
And that detail from the source about their sign saying, please eat by the end of the day, that underscores their commitment to freshness and that specific delicate texture, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's all about that peak experience. Now, moving west, we have Dorayaki in Nome in Kyoto.
Okay, Kyoto. This sounds like a more local spot near Kitano Tenmangu Shrine, a takeout specialist with cute packaging.
That's the one. Their philosophy centers on the filling, making sure it's a substantial sandwich, but also, crucially, on making sure the crust is delicious even on its own.
Oh, interesting.
And here's where their dedication really shows. They apparently adjust the ingredients and composition of their dough specifically to match the batch of anko they're using that day.
Wait, changing the dough based on the anko? That is next level attention to detail. Seriously.
It highlights their pursuit of perfect harmony between the components. It's quite something. They use fresh eggs for a fluffy, rich dough, paired with a low-sugar anko that lets the natural sweetness of the beans shine through. Their popular options include classic azuki, around 220 yen, so a bit smaller or maybe just different pricing, and an interesting brown sugar cream cheese blend.
Ooh, cream cheese.
Plus various seasonal fillings like fruits or chestnuts, depending on the time of year.
So Kyoto is about perfecting that dough-filling balance
Yeah.
and offering creative seasonal twists. Very cool. And finally, down in Fukuoka, Edo King.
Right. Edo King is famous for their Dorayaki nama. Nama means like raw or fresh.
Dorayaki Nama. Got it.
And it's built around Fukuoka's celebrated Amao strawberries. They're known for being big and sweet. You can find them in convenient spots like Tenjin or Fukuoka Airport.
This sounds like a luxurious fusion bringing in fresh fruit in a big way.
It's a beautiful example of a Japanese Western blend. They use a thin, slightly glutinous dough, different texture again, to sandwich red bean paste, whipped cream, and crucially large, whole Amao strawberries.
Whole strawberries inside.
Yes, it makes for a gorgeous, premium sweet. It's pricier, around 600 yen, which reflects that star ingredient, the Amao strawberry.
And since it uses fresh strawberries, it must be seasonal, correct?
Exactly. You can typically only get it during the Amao season, which runs from late November to the end of May, roughly.
Okay.
The source describes the harmony of the strawberry and cream with the anko as exquisite, something that truly makes you smile.
I bet. What strikes me looking at these three is how different they are. It's not just a dorayaki. You have these distinct approaches, the crust master in Tokyo, the harmony perfectionist with variations in Kyoto, and the seasonal fruit artist in Fukuoka. It shows the incredible depth of culinary thought.
It really demonstrates that the simplicity of the core concept, 2 pancakes, some filling, allows for immense creativity and dedication in execution. Each store has its own pride and particularity, its own philosophy.
So having explored what it is, its history, meaning famous fans, the reasons for its appeal, and the craftsmanship, how can you, our listener, actually enjoy dorayaki in some perhaps less conventional ways? The source offers some great ideas here.
Yeah, definitely. One simple but effective method is just to warm it up. Like a quick 30 seconds in the microwave, maybe 600 W covered, can dramatically improve the experience, especially if it's not super fresh.
Warming it up restores the fluffiness and softness, makes it feel fresh again.
It does, exactly. And it gently softens the unco, significantly enhancing both the aroma and the flavor. It really brings it back to life.
Okay, simple enough.
And once it's warm, you can take it further by adding things.
Like what? What kind of additions?
Well, the source suggests additions when warmed, specifically butter or maybe even cheese. Adding butter sounds particularly decadent.
Butter on dorayaki.
Yeah, imagine, as the butter melts into the warm, soft dough and mixes with the anko, you get this exquisite sweetness. It's a blend of the anko's sweetness, the butter's slight saltiness, and its creamy richness.
Huh.
It's described as a perfect example of a modern, delicious Japanese Western mashup.
Anko and melted butter. It sounds surprisingly addictive.
Mm.
Sweet, salty, rich. I'm going to try that.
It takes a traditional sweet and gives it a whole new dimension. Now, beyond just warming and adding butter, you can also get creative with arrangements.
Okay.
For the summer, dorayaki ice cream is a fantastic idea.
Ooh, yes. Sandwiching ice cream between warm dorayaki layers, that's a temperature contrast I can get behind. Hayatsu.
Right, it's exactly that hayatsu warm-cool sensation.
Mm.
Using flavors like azuki ice cream itself or vanilla, chocolate, green tea, it's really refreshing and delicious.
Sounds amazing. What else?
Another arrangement idea is fruit sandwiches.
Like adding sliced fruit. Strawberries or bananas, maybe.
Exactly. You can add them alongside the anko or even create a version with just fruit and maybe some whipped cream, making it more like a sweet pancake sandwich, really.
Okay.
The source notes a fruit-only version is great for breakfast or brunch and might be more approachable for someone not used to Japanese sweets yet. It shows just how versatile the basic dorayaki form is.
So it can shift from a traditional wagashi to a summer dessert or even a brunch item. Very adaptable. And finally, for the adventurous, you can even try making your own.
Yeah, the source mentions this is relatively easy to do at home. The basic ingredients, eggs, sugar, honey, flour, are standard pantry items for many people.
Right.
You can even find simple recipes using pancake mix for a shortcut, apparently.
Oh, interesting. The appeal here is definitely experiencing that incredible aroma and texture of freshly baked dorayaki right in your own kitchen, isn't it?
Totally. And the freedom to customize. You can fill them with green tea cream, chestnuts, cream cheese, Nutella, whatever you like. It invites you to play with the concept yourself.
Fun. And for those wanting to taste the master's work without flying to Japan.
Well, the source confirms these delicious creations are available for purchase directly from the famous stores, and in some cases you might find them or similar high-quality ones available online, depending on shipping.
Worth looking into.
Yeah.
But we definitely went on a deep dive today. We started with something that looked like a simple sweet snack and uncovered layers of history, profound cultural symbolism about relationships and happiness, an unexpectedly emotional connection to a pop culture icon,
Sure.
and a whole world of detailed craftsmanship and creative variation.
Yeah, understanding the story behind dorayaki, its origins, its auspicious meanings, its tie to shared memories, its surprising health benefits, and the incredible diversity in how it's made, it really does transform the simple act of eating one into a much richer, more meaningful experience.
It really does.
It's like a little window into a culture's sensibility and creativity.
It really is. We learned how a humble, round shape and a core of ancient beings can carry deep cultural meaning about connection and well-being. It's quite amazing.
Which, it raises an important question for all of us, maybe. How often do we encounter everyday items, foods, objects, whatever, with such hidden layers of history, personal meaning, and even unexpected benefits?
That's a great point.
And what other ordinary things might be waiting for their own deep dive to reveal their surprising depth?